Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Loud, Confused, and Ready. We are your hosts, Sam,
Cam?
Kip.
Elliot.
Rogue One. How many of you have seen this?
I have.
I have
not, and I don't care if you use spoilers. I don't care.
Okay, cool.
There's not a lot to spoil.
No, not really. It's not a very deep story.
I mean, you kind of can expect it based off of where the story's placed in the overall.
And you know
Star
what
Wars
happens
universe.
after. So
Yeah, exactly.
It takes place the days leading up to episode 4 and like ends on the day that Princess Leia's ship is captured by Vader.
Yeah, the end of the movie is like
literally a
the
soldier.
movie ends and the beginning of A New Hope is like taking place like an hour after.
A soldier
I
going, "We got these plans, Leia," and her going, "Oh."
She's like,
and then she has this big
ship.
doofy smile on her face. That was the only thing that threw me. Is she had a really weird smile on her face.
I
She
do
was
want
a
to
computer
say,
lady.
if the original trilogy weren't like so dear to my heart as far as like my childhood and whatnot, this was probably my favorite Star Wars.
Yeah.
If it weren't for, like I said, the original trilogy being so dear to me, because those I put them ahead of it just because of like what they've done for, for Star Wars.
So I've heard that this is pretty great, but I've also I own The Force Awakens. I thought it was going to be great to put life back into the franchise. I had so many qualms with Force Awakens. So like I own it, but it's dumb.
Okay, so here's the thing. You need to worry none, because this movie is not like a Force Awakens or any other Star Wars movie has ever been.
Okay.
It's shot, its tone, everything is completely different.
It's totally
director?
it's totally independent of. I mean, other than like
It's in the lore.
allusions to like the Force and like they use blasters and shit. Like it doesn't have anything really to do with anything else.
There aren't any Jedi. The only like Force wielder is Vader.
Well, there's the one.
He's Force sensitive.
He is Force sensitive.
Is what everybody kind of assumes.
Is that the
It
blind one?
lets him fight
yes.
when he's blind.
Well, he's obviously using the Force.
He's a Jedi Temple guardian. So after like the Jedi are killed off after Episode 3, like these people, this faction takes up guarding the temple. So he's part of that.
and he's
basically like the
awesome.
guy that just hangs out in the church.
Yeah,
Like,
Nobody has an issue
fucks
with him
the
like
church.
taking down
But he believes in the
stormtroopers
Force.
with blasters.
Oh no, dude! I think it worked every time.
The way that the way that it happens is it makes sense. It's not like
First of all,
he's just running towards people and they're missing. Like
First of all, like you said, yes, he is fucking Donnie.
He is Donnie Yen.
Yeah, I was gonna say when.
Yeah, and he's awesome. His buddy is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
With the big gun. The cast is really really good. The only person I really didn't care for was the main guy, Cassian. I didn't.
He really grew
because
on
you
me,
can't.
though.
I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying.
Half the time I couldn't understand him
They
because
put him with a super thick accent.
his accent was really strange. I couldn't place it, and it was throwing me off
Is
constantly.
that the Pakistani looking guy that's like super soft spoken?
Sounds like Antonio Banderas in The 13th Warrior.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, like he if it's who I'm thinking it is, he
Diego
normally
Luna.
plays like he normally plays like dramas, and he's like a real spoken, soft spoken. Like I don't know if he's Indian or.
He's in
I'd
Elysium.
never seen him in anything.
He's in Elysium. He's in the Book of Life.
I'm excited about Alan Tudyk. Anything that Alan Tudyk plays in.
Oh, he's the best droid.
Yeah,
And that's even after coming BB-8.
Yeah.
Coming after BB-8.
He was
is
amazing as
You didn't like him?
I didn't really care about it.
Okay, that's fair.
At all.
You'll like this one. This one is
Like R2D2 is way better than BB-8.
this droid is like R2D2 and C3PO combined. Like
that's a negative.
no, like the
R2D2
only
being
in
able
the
to walk
humanoid aspects does he take from CP3PO.
Okay. So
and
like-
kind of the more literal aspect. Like he's he does things very literally because he's a robot. But it's so funny. Okay. It's so great. You'll love it.
Really well done. One of the things that sort of stuck with me with this was that if you go into it expecting it to slot in as like here's some
lore
other
filler?
than just being like we're gonna reference some stuff. That's all it does. It was kind of made to be an independent story. I mean, the title is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It wasn't meant to have any kind of continuity or anything like that. So I think if people go in expecting to see an episode 4 or an episode 7 or whatever, I think there's some potential to be disappointed only because, the character arcs and everybody that they set up pretty much is only involved in that story.
Yep.
And then their story is done after this movie.
Yeah.
And so, if you're
Not
looking
all
for
of them.
if you're looking at
Not quite all of them, but most.
Not every single person, but
Yeah.
but if you're looking at it
all
from a
died.
continuity standpoint, it's like,
Okay.
it doesn't. The context of their stories is completely contained, so it feels very small and very isolated compared to the typical Star Wars movie, which is there's 1,000 fucking things going on all over the place. That's not what this is at all.
I do get to say, as far as like the level of feels I've gotten in Star Wars, this one definitely
Oh yeah, so I got some chills.
hit a peak point.
Oh man.
Yeah, some feeling.
The first, I will say, one of my few knocks is I feel like the first hour or so is very slow.
It does take off slowly.
It takes a long time to really get going, and I don't care about these people.
Well,
really
and part
yet.
of that is because of what we were just talking about. I mean, they're trying to introduce all these people that are involved in this thing.
No, and we're going in knowing most of these people aren't going to be making it. So
Yeah, and there's no.
How
they
long's
have
the
Oh,
no
movie?
context. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes.
So, like, the first half of it you're saying is slow and kind of...
I mean,
It
it's
took
a
a
lot
while.
of exposition because they're saying,
But-
here's what's going on in the world. Here's what
and
these people
you might
are doing.
enjoy that. For me, it was just kind of slow. It was some of it was like the politics in the Empire that I was just like, I don't really care about these. Like,
pretty much
we
it's
have
not-
to
it's
throw
not
Grand
like-
Moff Tarkin in here as much as we can.
It's not
because-
it's not like episode 1 levels of
No,
politics or anything like
No,
that.
and it wasn't terrible. Like the first half of the movie gets a 5.5 out of 10 for me. Second half gets about an 8.5, maybe 9, to average out for maybe a 7.5.
Well, the way that it's structured kind of makes it okay because you kind of go in and you're like, yeah, Star Wars, and then it's like, by the time it gets to the point where you're like, is anything going to happen? That's when stuff starts.
Yeah, and then does
moving.
it happen?
And then it just steamrolls its way all the way.
Oh,
through.
and that last hour makes up for it in spades. Some of the best combat, some of the best space. Oh my god!
Dude, when the-
you know the part. You know the part.
They go to Scarif. Scarif's the planet that houses the Death Star plants, and they make their case to the rebellion group. So they're tasked with taking out Jyn Erso's father, who is the architect of the Death Star, and he's being forced to make it. She's the daughter of this Imperial, and they're not very trusting of her. So when she's there trying to plead to them, we've got to go to Scarif and get these plans. He's left a contingency plan for us to be able to destroy it. They don't believe her. They're not going to send the rebellion after the plans, and then they just go on their own. And then they get over the comms rebel troops on Scarif, and then everybody gets fired up and goes. And when they show up, you're just like, "Fuck! It's the fucking rebellion!" Fuck!
And like some of the the Akbar race, super awesome.
Yeah.
They do some crazy things in space. We won't spoil that part because that.
The squadrons are all there. All the tie-ins
can't.
are really cool.
Yep.
Red squadron's there.
Yep. Biggs
Gold.
all
Blue
them.
squadron's new, but they're there. They actually use one cool thing that I found out afterwards. They use unused footage from Episode 4. So like the cockpit scenes in the X-Wings are the guys who played in Episode 4, like Wedge and Dak and Biggs and all the guys from Red Squadron.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's real good.
It definitely got me pumped up, and I went into it knowing that probably all these characters were gonna die, and
You still get attached to him.
so explain it to my mom because when so I gotta tell you, that's a pretty funny story. My niece is 5 years old. My brother Josh really badly wanted to go see Rogue One, and he didn't want to go by himself. So he took Claire, my niece, and everybody went down to visit, and they were talking about how they wanted to go see Rogue One, and Claire very just bluntly goes, "Why would you want to see that? Everyone dies."
Thank you for that, Claire.
So now my mom, she doesn't really want to go see it, and she's real big into Star Wars, but she doesn't like sad movies. So I've explained to her that all these people in their death scenes, like they're not in fear for their lives. Like they see it come in. They see it come in. Like it's all for a purpose. It makes sense when they die. And none of them are in vain.
And that's normally my sentiment too. I hate sad endings in movies. I hate being, scared, depressed, anything like that from a movie, because I don't watch movies to get those emotions. I want to get rid of those emotions. But like this is an exception where it's like it's just so powerful that it's worth it every minute.
Mads Mikkelsen's death scene is one of the hardest death scenes I've ever watched.
Which one?
Jin's father.
Oh God, yeah, that one was rough.
And it was just so. The reason it was so hard to me is she hadn't seen him in like 15 years, and he's injured very badly, and she runs up and sees him, and he kind of, Jin, is that you? And I have so much to tell you, and then breathes his last breath, and I'm just like
delete my browser history.
I've been whacking it in the Death Star for 15 years. You guys gotta help me out.
Mads Mikkelsen is amazing.
He's a very good actor.
Yes.
He's been in a lot of shit, and he does a very good job.
Yep. Everybody in it, dude. James Earl Jones is still voicing Darth Vader in it.
Perfect.
And as far as like, if you want to see like some badass like Force shit, there's some cool stuff in there. Too.
Especially Vader's scene near the end.
I went into the build up for this movie coming up, talking to my friends at work. The one thing I kept saying is, I am so ready to see Vader fuck shit up. And playing the Battlefield game, that I remember an instance where my buddy and I were running around a corner and somebody had activated Vader and we ran right into him, and like our reaction is, fuck, it's Vader, and then like
that's how
he throws a lightsaber at me, force chokes my buddy, and then we're dead. And you should be terrified to see Vader. And at the end, and I had heard this, so I got a little worried because I heard that he didn't have a lot of screen time and whatnot, and didn't really make like a big impact. But yeah, the very end, Vader's going after the plans that they've got. And he gets really fucking close to getting them back. And he fucks shit up.
He fucks shit
It's
up.
one of those things where, like, in the movies, they always are talking, they're like, Darth Vader is this fucking evil dude. He does all this crazy shit, and he's, like, the only guy that can use the Force, and he just fucks everything up. And then you're like, okay, that's great, but
they never really see it.
In episode, when they're doing, like, the lightsaber battle with Luke, it's like, man.
Right. Yeah. And then the lore, he's taken on like battalions of rebels. Like he is like a one man army.
He still is the most powerful Force user in the universe. Yes. He still has that high midichlorian count or whatever.
And he can get into a ship and just cut a swath of fucking death through the ship on his way to something. Yeah. And it shows you all that, and it's fucking awesome.
Yes. And I mean, in the sense that he's the most powerful Jedi, like Luke doesn't even really beat him. No. In a fight.
He doesn't win.
And he shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, he gets to him on an emotional level and kind of brings him back, and that's how that is resolved. But yeah, he's never beaten. Except by Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan fucks his shit up.
And he could have fucked him up even in his old age, but he decided not to.
Mm-hmm. Well, strike me down and I will become even stronger.
Yeah. I haven't heard that name since I cut off your father's arms and legs and let him burn in a river of lava. That was one of my favorite memes because it's just Obi-Wan's face in episode 4. He's like, wow, I haven't heard that name since I cut off your father's legs.
I like the one that was like, your father wanted me to give this to you when you were of age, and then it has Anakin burning. He's like, give this to my son when he's of age.
He wanted you to have this lightsaber.
I was like, hey Anakin, do you remember when we were doing backflips over things over giant pools of lavas while we're fighting? Yeah, that was the good old days. And they just hit each other.
Oh yeah, it is kind of funny that.
And the technology, like they never used all the battle droids and things. Like, where'd all that technology go?
It became useless.
Yeah.
In the original trilogy, and something they went back to in The Force Awakens, which I really appreciated, is they took on more of that like medieval swordsmanship and swordplay rather than the acrobatics, which are real fun to look at. But
well, it's all dependent on. Yeah, they did do that. They did focus on the flips and everything a lot. But I know they do focus a lot on the different Jedis having different stances and forms of fighting.
Something like 7 different fighting styles.
Vader uses one that's just mainly for strength, like doesn't require much movement. Hence why he just usually wields it in one hand. He just uses all of his strength in one hand.
his other hand, he's just
Drawing a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Drawing a picture. This is a lion. Oh, that's very nice, Vader.
so
I
recently,
have to say this. There's a specific part when he's killing guys, and he lifts the guy up like in front of him, and he slams him up into the ceiling, and he's still fighting the other guys. He's still got his hand up like this, and when he walks underneath him, he cuts him in half, and then starts using his other hand. Start pushing people again. It's so crazy.
bad, man.
It is really cool.
He's a bad dude.
I was only the one thing I was hoping for a little bit more of that they gave a tiny bit, but I was hoping more was him not in his suit because they do a cool. They show the cylinder thing that he's the.
Yeah,
pod
it's
that he
like
stays in.
his sleep pod, so he can heal.
And
his
it like
lava
shows
skin.
like you can kind of see him in the water a little bit, and it starts to drain, and then it cuts away, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, but that's okay.
Indeed.
Anyway,
Speaking
good movie.
of, so I'm gonna go watch it. Apparently,
Who does everybody think Rey belongs to in the Star Wars universe?
God, I don't know.
I don't care. I really don't. I
I've
don't
kinda
care
reached
about
that
Well, then
point.
you don't answer.
Okay.
there you go.
That point too.
What about you, the Jokers?
I thought Force Awakens was really good. I didn't care that it was a total rehash.
Yeah, me
I
either.
was
Really?
like,
Oh, yeah. No, I loved it.
I want to see.
I'm fine with a rehash. It's fun.
It
It's
made me
cool
feel like a
movie.
kid again.
Yeah.
Man, it was amazing.
I saw a video that was on it. It was like, you have to give him credit. He just knew how to appeal to the audience, how to revilify it, or how to
I'm excited to see where
revive
it
it.
goes.
because it
and
was
that
just,
was the point.
they
of
want
it was,
they wanted to see it
they
done.
want to draw
again.
everybody in. And
Jyn
get
Erso
them
was a
involved
way
and
better
then start doing it.
heroine
But
than
I had
Rey is.
such an issue with the fact that, like, you have these people who train and train and train and train, and then you have this chick who can just beat it, and then a stormtrooper, some first guard, whatever,
Daniel
first
Craig.
order, and
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Was it him?
That the one that she mind controls? Yeah, that's
No, not that one. The one that pulls out his own
Finn.
baton.
Oh, no.
and the
Traitor.
enemy. Yeah, the one.
Traitor.
Is that Nines?
Yeah. I'm gonna fight. And it's
I don't
just,
think so.
I have a
But maybe.
huge issue with the fact that, like, they can just wield a saber and just be, adequate with it. It's really dumb.
Well,
Wait, who?
That's why they
who wielding
show.
the saber?
Finn. Was
he has
adequate with
has
it.
military training.
He
With
also
a sword.
Yes.
He also
With the
gets,
baton, at
he
least.
also
All
gets the stride
all
every time he
stormtroopers
actually
get
fights
full
somebody that
military
wants
training
to.
and all weaponry, so he would know how to use that.
That guy, there's a short story out. That guy who yells at him and calls him traitor is part of, like, his 4-man training group.
Yes.
So if that dude's wielding a baton, there's reason to believe that
fought
Finn had
before.
that same training. Yep. So I think he absolutely would be able to fight with it, and he would have to be able to have some fighting capabilities to survive against Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm.
And force. He has force
He
capabilities.
gets completely
absolutely.
fucked by Kylo, but, like, he's alive. He survives that incident. If he didn't have any training whatsoever, he would have died.
Like, is it Kylo or Kilo? Does it
Kylo.
matter? Kylo Ren versus anybody. Like, he should have had way more training and, like, just been able to fuck shit up. And to say that she was just super intuitive because of the Force is, I think, a cop out.
Well, he also had been shot in the stomach by
the most
the most
powerful.
powerful blaster in the entire universe.
Yeah,
That they spent the entire movie setting up how powerful this bowcaster is.
And then he's punching himself in the. I thought that was cool.
That
He
was
like,
cool.
punching himself to get more
Damn
pissed
himself
off.
up.
To,
And I didn't realize nearly how awesome that whole scene was until after, and I read that, and they were like, they have 3 different sections where they show how powerful this bowcaster is. He takes one to the gut and just champs it, doesn't get blown back or anything.
Yeah, he gets
then
shot
keeps his stomach, basically keeps all of his insides inside his body using the Force, then continues to fight
Yep.
2 different people that are theoretically Force users, and holds his, like, that gave me a lot more respect once I saw it framed that way, because
Well, and they foreshadow a lot of Rey's skill as well.
Yes.
Just by saying she's been on Jakku for 20 years, and she's been everything she comes across that's dangerous. She's been beating the shit out of it with a stick.
she's been having to survive.
one of the theories that I've come across on the interwebs is that, well, the short one first, that Rey is actually a descendant of Emperor Palpatine. So the way that she holds her lightsaber, like the over the head strikes, is like a Palpatine thing, and then like she does that move where she puts it back behind her head and has her hand out towards him. That's like a Palpatine move, and then the thrusting that she does with it.
I guess I haven't seen Palpatine sword fight all that much outside of Clone Wars, which is animated.
Right.
And he normally has two, I think, doesn't he?
There's another one where they think that she's actually a Kenobi, because like the Jedi
That's kind of what I was
thing
thinking.
is a Kenobi kind of signature move. The one of them that's a little more far fetched in my opinion.
Qui-Gon uses it.
But I mean Obi-Wan was his Padawan. You don't really see Luke do that too much.
True.
But one of the more far-fetched conspiracy theories is where Anakin was the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. Essentially, he's like the Jesus of Star Wars, born to a virgin mother.
He was said to be the one of prophecy.
Right.
It was never said that he was that one, though.
Right. Yeah. So he's supposed to be the chosen one, prophesies, whatever. So there's
the chosen one.
Kylo Ren like reveres his grandfather Darth Vader.
Right.
Religiously and wants to live up to his name and whatnot. And there's that scene where he kind of looks at Rey during the fight and says, "I will train you. Like you need someone to train you." And the theory goes to where like he recognizes who she is and that she is actually a reincarnation of Anakin.
I've heard that.
Or the chosen one. So that's kind of a little more far-fetched, but
I doubt it'll ever
but
get
interesting.
Because there's
It sounds way too deep.
Like
There's some other like really deep ones like that would be really awesome.
And, like fan theories and stuff are way more interesting than the actual story. And I'm sure that, like George Lucas, especially if I made this world, George Lucas is definitely like, man, that's such a better idea than what I was going
Fuck my tits. How do I get them on
Right, all
board?
you do, it's so easy. You make the first movie, and then you go to Reddit, and you say, you
Yeah,
read
right.
all the theories, and whichever one you like the most, that's movie number
You guys
7.
were
Then you
totally
start
right.
the next one.
Wow, I can't believe you guys figured
With
that
this
out.
little
He's
twist.
Just
With
he's like
this little-
copy pasting it from Reddit.
We're gonna hold a competition, and I'm gonna give $10,000 to whoever guesses the right theory.
You did it.
Good job, guys.
Suckers. But no, I just I think that I care more about like what Kylo Ren's real motivations are.
Yeah.
Because I seem like there's a lot of stuff
I
that
just want him to
alluded
stop
to.
whining so fucking much.
Well, I think it alludes a lot to him like infiltrating the Sith.
Yeah, he's actually
that's
a
one
good
of them,
guy.
too.
That's one of the ones I heard.
Because it's like he talks about being ripped apart,
He's
and he
very
says
conflicted.
it's the call of the light, but it might really be like
Right.
Like maybe
Like he's
I have to
being
kill my
forced.
dad to prove myself to Snoke so that I can become a Sith and then take him out.
And
It's,
then he knows that'll spark the rebellion because he says to him that there's something I have to do. I don't want to. Will you help me? And he says yes. So it's
Yeah, and he knows, killing his dad is gonna cause that group to go, fuck
would-
this.
That's the one.
Like,
That's the
would
theory I
give
really like.
everything if
really
Kylo
like
Ren was actually a good guy.
I the
really
more I
like
think
that
about
theory.
it, the more I really do like that
Hope that-
idea.
I'm gonna be sad if
Because
that's
he-
He's
every
trying
time-
to get to Snoke.
Yes, every
he's
time he
trying
sees
because
Snoke, it's through a hologram.
he doesn't see Snoke ever.
he's the opposite of every other character that we've. It's always they start out on light side because
And
light
then go
side's just
dark.
what they say that you're supposed to do, and then they feel the call to the dark side. He's fighting. He's trying to be evil, even though the light keeps trying to pull him back to being good.
That's why he's so
because he
emotional
really
and
inherently
conflicted
is.
and fucking bursts out in
Well,
rage.
that's why he does all those rage fits because he's like, I have to let my anger out in
I
the
have
form
to-
of aggression to
God,
be
I
a
really
dark
hope
side
he's a
user.
good guy because
That's the one
otherwise
theory
he's just
I
a
really,
whiny
really
bitch.
like.
And I'll agree with you.
Worst
The
villain.
whininess got to me for
Yeah.
a long while.
Because it reminds me of millennials. Like that's all I see.
Well, that's the thing too. Is
Like-
I think that was intended to be like you're supposed to be like,
Shot
yeah,
at
this
the
guy
generation.
has the power, but he doesn't have the mindset behind
Right.
it. Like Anakin and Darth Vader had. Like they really were full force. Like I'm going
multiple
into the dark
levels.
side now. Whereas he's kind of like, I don't want to do
Even
this
though
'cause he
Vader
doesn't wanna
wafted
do it.
back towards the end,
Yeah.
which is another thing for that same theory. If he knew about what Vader did at the end of his
And
life,
that's why he
would
says, I'm
still
trying
be,
to carry on your legacy. In this case-
I'm also trying to prevent.
Yeah, I really hope he's a good guy.
Me too. That would make it real cool.
So Star Wars.
Yay! Yeah, see
I'm gonna
Rogue
watch
One.
it.
Please do. You'll enjoy it. I believe.
really good.
So,
Quite good.
Really
if only for Alan Tudyk. as the robot. You'll enjoy everything else, but he's amazing.
Did I tell you guys I met him in real life?
I think you mentioned that.
Second City on our honeymoon, Lindsay and my honeymoon. He was there, kind of like doing guest improv, and I jumped the velvet rope and whatnot. Went over there and just started talking to him and stuff. Shook his hand. And was like, "That's my." Lindsay was, she's always kind of shy about awkward instances, and I don't care. I don't care about awkward anything. I'll just be like, "Hey, I like that vest."
You prefer it.
Yeah, some guy's like, I bought this vest at whatever. I'm like, "No, it's fantastic. I want it." So. I don't really mind, so I just ran over and I shook his hand, started talking and whatnot, and I don't know. He's really funny. He'd always he was introducing himself by his first name, so it wasn't like he expected anyone to know who he was.
Right.
Even though I think everybody does.
Yeah, he seems like a humble, down-to-earth guy.
Hi, I'm Alan Tudyk.
Yeah,
From Firefly. And then he points to a giant poster of himself.
And everybody's just like,
Look at it!
"Who are you and what are you dragging along?" "Oh, well, I'm just Alan Tudyk from...
He's just dragging a droid behind him.
Right.
I did this.
This is the thing. I just rewatched Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Dude,
I need to watch that again.
such a good Okay.
Alan Tudyk, yeah, he's definitely up there in my list of favorite actors.
Agreed. I actually remember his name, so that's going to tell you something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nathan Fillion too, because I think he would be
awesome.
a great guy to talk to. Just funny and shit.
I'd love to party with him.
Well, like watching Castle and stuff, all the references they make to Firefly.
I've been meaning to sit down and watch Castle. I've heard good
so
things.
good.
It's good, and it's also very formulaic. So at any point you can just
Jump in.
You can jump in, and you'll be like, "Yeah, okay, I know what's going on." Like it's
Right,
not like a
Kind of a Parks and Rec
ongoing-
style. You can kind of just jump in.
I have a lot of issues with like the way I have a lot of issues with a lot of things, but detective
You do
shows.
seem to have some issues.
You have a lot of issues.
I have a lot
just
of
leave
issues.
it there.
Detective shows in particular, because Castle's one of those where like they seem to forget how to do their job once he comes onto the roll, like without his little input to like push him a little bit further.
Okay.
They forget that they're detectives sometimes. I'm watching.
How do I detect?
I'm watching Limitless right now with Lynn and whatnot, and it's way better than the movie. The movie was mediocre because it had like a shitty ending. I was just like,
there was a movie.
That's what it's based off of.
Right. I guess it didn't.
Bradley Cooper
yeah.
is the star of the movie. He's actually in
really?
Limitless. Yeah,
Dude.
he's not the star though.
I thought the movie was really
Guardians
I should
It
say
had
it was
so much
really
potential.
of
good.
the Galaxy
But like
too.
the stuff that focused on like what he
Talk
was
about
doing.
Bradley Cooper
Yeah, right.
For what?
Sorry.
and what Suicide Squad wanted to be.
Guardians 2.
Guardians 2, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a movie that's coming out.
That's a movie that's good.
Nice.
I'm excited for it.
He
I like
mentioned
the
Bradley
Galaxy.
Cooper, and I just immediately went there to Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Limitless, you should watch. One of my issues was that they forget how to do their job. In Limitless, they do their job whether or not he's there, which I think is amazing. Because it's like, hey, we're the FBI, and it's like, oh, well, we don't need you. You're just an asset. And he just does his stuff, and a lot of times his shit doesn't work out. Like the way that he planned on it being this whole fringe science amazing thing, and then it just doesn't work. And
Is it
you're
kind of like Psych in that regard? Where like
It's
he's
very
always wrong.
Psych-like.
He's always wrong the
No.
first time for the most part.
Because he's most of the time right.
Okay.
But there are some very like extenuated fringe science type of stuff that he's like, well, we kind of hit a dead end. Let me just do this really crazy thing.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of works, but it's not any sort of help to the actual case. And then they, as FBI agents, do their fucking job, and then they get the next lead.
So they
because
could do
that's
everything without him. Basically.
Right, exactly.
Is it like
Whereas-
every episode of CSI where they're like, all right, here it is. I found it. Semen.
Semen. Word on the street
There's
is
trace semen all over everything.
jizz.
We've got him.
I like the idea of that being in Castle. Like whenever I wrote this novel about murder, he always jerked off on the bricks in the hallway, and then they're like, scoop it over there it is. That's semen. Test it.
Guys,
You just ate it. You tested
I didn't eat all of it. I just tasted it to make sure it was semen.
this case is
Castle.
closed. Place
Place is closed.
This place is closed.
This place is jizz.
Stop
He's still eating the jizz. Why
Jizz is jizz.
Tagline for the show. This jizz is jizz. Castle.
In fact,
2017.
in fact,
If they have, I would
feel
like
like
him
you
to
said
just do one episode
Castle
where he
with
just
Jeff.
scoops semen off of something and goes, "Oh my god, this is semen."
fuck. I thought it was Donut glaze.
He had pizza with pineapples on it.
Back for more.
There you go.
I want
There
the
you go
end
again.
where it says Castle's gonna have jazz hands. Castle.
That's how he turns to everybody else in the police department and goes, Castle. Like, oh, he did it.
You just ate a pound. A pound of jizz. Why?
His novel experience led to him being able to taste semen perfectly every time.
I don't know that I like that we're about to end on jizz.
We're not.
Everything ends with jizz.
Okay.
At least it'll be a happy ending.
Heyo.
There it is.
Got him.
Okay, to wrap this up, I do want to talk about what's upcoming for Loud, Confused, and Ready.
Yeah.
We have the website coming out.
Jizz.
We have articles, jizz,
No,
and blogs and
.edu.
whatnot. .edu. .gov. So
Jizz.com.
we have blogs, articles, pictures. We'll be doing some events and everything that we wind up doing will be on the website. That's coming soon. Keep an eye out for that. We have, you can always look us up on YouTube. Facebook page is on there. We're on iTunes and SoundCloud. We have some writers, one of them being myself, the other being Elliot and Kip. And we'll just be writing about a bunch of nonsensical nonsense, I feel like. But it's always a good read.
Yeah, for a couple of examples, just as sort of a preview, I wrote an article about some of the best co-op multiplayer games, which I feel are really lacking in today's world, but they're still around. You just gotta look for them. And I already did that, and then I wrote a list of them. So maybe that will be helpful.
You don't have to.
I'm also writing about, yeah, exactly. Final Fantasy 15.
You're welcome.
That kind of stuff. I'll be focused mostly on probably games, and then Elliot, what do you got coming?
I'm gonna do exactly what you write on every time.
Rewrite every article.
So when my article comes out, are you going to copy it and post it, or are you gonna write?
No,
your own
I'm
version?
gonna. It's gonna be
Take excerpts out
Elliot's
from it.
iteration of Kip.
Better
Oh
version.
no, it'd be like Cliff's Notes. So
Yeah.
you just write like a summary of what I wrote.
Clips. I'm gonna
hopefully
call
it's
them clip
longer,
notes.
though.
Kip talks about semen for about 5 minutes here at the beginning.
So here's the deal. I didn't actually read any of Kip's article, but I'm assuming
was-
that
he would have said.
I'm
the
assuming
title was
that
stupid,
the
so
cool
I went ahead
co-op
and
games
wrote-
he wants to play are
Elliot
Mario Party and Smash Brothers and
It's pretty terrible.
yeah,
though.
2017. Let's go.
Elliot, if you knew me at all, you'd know Mario Party's not on my fucking Fuck that game.
That shouldn't be on anybody's list.
Mario Party's one of the worst games all time. 2017 Mario Party, suck my dick.
Suck my dick. Hold my dick.
Darren Sharper.
Fuck you, Gumby.
So anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're writing stuff. We'll be doing some more extensive things in the future.
And I will be editing them to make them all pretty.
Yeah. We'll also have a contest coming out pretty soon, so keep an ear out for that. So, outside of that, you guys have a wonderful day.
Okay, well, goodbye.
Or night.
No.
Thanks again for listening to LCR. Now's a good time to settle in, get comfy, and click on one of these links and fire up a new video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on this video and what you'd like to hear on our future episodes.